Started. Madam, Vice Chairman, apart from the systematic neglect of elementary education, the second most important problem that requires to be taken care of by policy makers is to ensure that school education is treated as the terminal stage of learning for a substantial number of students. Today, the presumption is the opportunity. Most people think that the normal thing to do is go on to college. Anything short of that is regarded as infra-dig. No wonder the colleges are overcrowded, and in most cases their performance is substandard. Madam, it took the country almost a quarter of a century to restructure the secondary education system and bring it almost in line with international practice. In 1947, except for one or two states, schooling was for 10 years everywhere. The Kothari Commission raised it to make it 12 years of schooling. Even after this particular reform was initiated, the situation is not entirely satisfactory. In some of the states, however, the +2 stage is still partially tagged on to colleges. During recent years, some successful attempts have been made to integrate the last 2 years of school with secondary education. It seems safe to say that within the next few years, almost every stage would have fallen in line and implanted the restructured system in its entirety. Parallel to it, however, there has been a disturbing development inherent in the decision to make it 12 years at the school level was the implication that this stage of education would be regarded as terminal in character. As is generally accepted, the educational system is like a pyramid. It is wide at the bottom and narrow at the top. In our case, this has now been happening with the result that numerous structural, organizational, and academic problems have cropped up. In some states, 50% of students join colleges after schooling, while in others their percentage is lower, nor do most people see anything wrong in such a large number of students going on to colleges. While the recent move in favor of globalization is one factor in favor of what is happening, there are several other factors also at work. Our failure to upgrade the instructions at the +2 level has actually created a sort of academic rupture between the school and university system. Mr. Chairman, sir, I will say something relevant to the subject, not the way others have spoken, and I am not going to ridicule anybody. I have more important points to say and shall not reply to irrelevant points raised by others. While supporting the bill, I would like to mention a few points pertaining to the role of banks in the rural sector. As you know, developmental activities are taking place in the village areas, centering around implementation of 20-point program. 12 out of these 20 points are closely related to banks. As far as implementation part is concerned, point number 3, that is integrated rural development program, is the most important program for weaker sections of the country because it is providing economic relief to the poorer sections of society. Now the provision is that the District Rural Development Agency is supposed to recommend cases of people in a particular block to the banks for giving loans to these beneficiaries. Our experience shows that although cases are being recommended to the concerned banks, all the cases are not disposed of within a given financial year. Some cases are rejected by the banks, and I would like to request the Honorable Finance Minister to take care of these two problems. One is, often the bank people used to say that the cases would not be entertained. Secondly, the poorer people who are actually recommended by the District Rural Development Agency for loans are at times found to be defaulters, in the sense that they might have taken rupees 15,000 from some other bank, and that stands in the way of their getting loan from that particular bank under the Integrated Rural Development Program scheme. Technical support should be provided to the beneficiaries instead of saying that the project does not entitle the applicant to get the loan. The bank should say that the project, though faulty, would be given necessary support to make it acceptable to the bank. Some technical support should be accorded to the beneficiaries to get loan. Mr. Vice Chairman, apart from the systematic neglect of elementary education, the second most important problem that requires to be taken care of by policy makers is to ensure that school education is treated as the terminal stage of learning for a substantial number of students. Today, the presumption is the opposite. Most people think that the normal thing to do is go on to college. Anything short of that is regarded as infra dig. No wonder the colleges are overcrowded, and in most cases their performance is substandard. हाँ, ये जो 700 ये वर्ड थे 7838, लेकिन बाद में इसमें 100 वर्ड और ऐड कर दिए गए. ताकि ये 800 प्लस जा सके, और जो मैंने रिपीट किया है वो इनिशियल कंटेंट रिपीट किया है इसी डिक्टेशन का। तो ये कॉमन वर्ड 2D का फर्स्ट पार्ट है। वर्ड हो गए इसके अंदर 830 और स्पीड है इसकी 80। हाँ, कॉमन वर्ड 2D का एक नंबर है, 80 की स्पीड है। अगर बेटर लिखा है आप जाकर टाइप करेंगे, और जिसको स्पीकर पे लिखना है 80 पे, मैं कंटेंट लगाऊंगा 80 पे स्पीकर पे, ठीक है।